What are the most difficult questions in IELTS reading? Based on the poll I conducted on our Telegram channel, it's clear that matching headings take the lead. Let me show you how you can solve these questions, find your way around the main difficulties, and avoid common mistakes. We'll practice together, starting with some standard questions and going all the way up to the most difficult matching headings you can find in IELTS reading. It's Asia. Let's get started. First things first, let's have a look at the task. Choose the correct heading for each paragraph or section from the list of headings below. In the middle, there is a box with a list of headings. The questions are at the bottom. If you take IELTS on paper, you'll find the passage on the next page. Basically, you see the task before you read the text or answer any other questions about it. And this shows the best way to solve it. Start with the headings. Well, perhaps read the passage title first to know what the text is about. Read all the headings. Highlight keywords, read the first paragraph or section, find the answer, read the next section, and so on. This is the general strategy. Easier said than done, I know. Let's try to solve some matching headings together, starting with simpler questions and getting to the most difficult ones. I'll be giving you tips and strategies as we go along. Before we begin, remember this. Each heading can be used only once. There are more headings than paragraphs, which means that some headings won't be used. Our questions are coming from authentic practice tests by Cambridge English, which I recommend for your practice. Count how many questions you answer correctly. Here is the task. Read the title first, then the headings, then the first paragraph, and try to find the answer. Go ahead and pause the video now and resume once you're ready. Ready? Okay. I think number 4 may be our answer. In the paragraph, we've read about the evolution of the pyramid form that has been argued about, but there is no question that it began with one monument. And option 4, the header 4, reads, a single certainty among other less definite facts. This may be our answer, but let's check other options first. Oh, have a look at number 7. An idea for changing the design of burial structures. And indeed, we've read about the evolution of the pyramid form and how one designer built or one architect built something new. Maybe number 7 is the answer. Quite often, we can't be certain straight away. With our first question, we immediately faced one of the main difficulties. The hardest part is that one paragraph or one heading, depending on which way you look at it, seems to have multiple answers. Here is what you can do about it. First of all, match all the headings on the question sheet, then transfer your answers to the answer sheet. If you're taking IELTS on computer, you can still make notes on the sheet of paper with instructions. So, if you're hesitating between two options, note both. If you're not certain about your answer, put a question mark next to it. And a very important one, if you can't find the answer, move on. You'll return to this question later. Go through all the questions, then come back to those you couldn't answer. Let's return to our task. Section B. Pause the video and find the answer. Let's return to our task. Section B. Pause the video and find the answer. Ready to continue? When I'm looking for my answer, I read all the options, even those I've already used to answer other questions, just to make sure that I haven't made a mistake in another question. I think number 7 is perfect here. In this paragraph, we really see the description of how Jozer's official decided to build a different structure, to change the design. So the answer is B7. And this means that we can exclude this option from A. And now we can say that the header for the first paragraph is not number 7. It must be number 4. A4. Here is the next question. Go ahead and pause the video. Ready? I think the key lies in this sentence. The weight of the enormous mass was a challenge for the builders. And the header is a difficult task for those involved. C2. You might have heard that there are hacks or easy ways to find answers. Let me prove they don't work. One of those pieces of advice is to read only the first sentence of each paragraph, or the first and the last. This doesn't work with matching headings. This task is designed to make you read everything. Have a look at where we found the key information to answer the first 3 questions. Definitely not in the first sentences. Another hack that doesn't work is looking for matching keywords or the same words in the passage and in the heading. The truth is, the main keywords are usually paraphrased. Think about the meaning and pay attention to paraphrasing. Look, here is our first question. The words in purple, there is no question that make us think about a single certainty. And the words in green, the pyramid form has been argued about, are referred to as other less definite facts. There are no matching keywords at all. Have a look at paragraph B. Tombs from the paragraph are paraphrased as borough structures. Instead of changing design in the heading, in the paragraph we see the actual description of the design, rectangular monuments or taller, more impressive ones. No word repetition. So, how did you find the questions we've solved together so far? They are from part 2 of the IELTS academic test. Matching headings in part 3 are even more challenging. Here is one reason why. On the left, you can see the first page of the passage from part 2. There is a letter next to each paragraph, A, B, C, D, which means that you are looking for a heading for each paragraph. The passage on the right is from part 3. Each section includes several paragraphs. The second paragraph for section C is actually on the next page. Each section covers more ideas and requires a deep understanding. Now, I'd like to challenge you to some of the hardest questions in IELTS reading. Ready? Here is our next task. The title of our passage is Attitudes Towards Artificial Intelligence. Could you find a hotter topic for our lesson? Here is the first question. Read the headers, read the section, find your answer. Pause the video now. Ready? Here is what I've found. AI is almost always better at forecasting than we are. And header 3, the superiority of AI projections. Is it the answer? Oh, but have a look here. We still seem to deeply lack confidence in AI predictions. And option 6, widespread distrust in AI innovation. So which answer is correct? We can't know right now. We have to leave this question as it is and come back to it later. Section B. Go ahead and pause the video. It looks like header 6 actually belongs to B, this section. Widespread distrust in AI innovation. And indeed we've read that doctors didn't trust Watson at all. When Watson gave the same recommendation as doctors, they didn't count it. When it gave a different recommendation, they concluded it was incompetent. And this created even more suspicion. I'm pretty sure B6. And this means that the best header for section A is 3. Section C. Pause the video now. Let's continue. We've read that trust in other people is often based on understanding and experience, but AI is still fairly new and unfamiliar. People feel anxious, and they are acutely aware of instances where AI goes wrong. Read option 2. Reasons why we have more faith in human judgment than in AI. That's our answer. And the next question is D. Pause the video now. Ready? We've read that watching the film polarized the participants' attitudes. And if you're not familiar with the word polarized, there is an explanation in the next sentence. Optimists became more extreme in their enthusiasm, and skeptics became even more guarded. In the next paragraph, we have more explanation, but even now we can say that D1, an increasing divergence of attitudes towards AI. Divergence means that your views or your positions are becoming further and further apart. They diverge, while if they're getting closer, they converge. Section E. Go ahead and pause the video. Ready to see the answer? We've read about how to improve trust in AI, and it seems that previous experience can significantly improve people's opinions. And also, another solution may be to reveal more about the algorithms. Read header 7. Encouraging openness about how AI functions. E7. Section F. Pause the video now. Let's continue. Here is what I found. Allowing people some control could improve trust. For example, if people were allowed the freedom to slightly modify an algorithm, they felt more satisfied with its decisions. Read option 5. The advantages of involving users in AI processes. They trust it more, they're more satisfied. These are definite advantages. Our answer is F5. So, how many questions could you answer? Tell me in the comments. In total, we had 9 questions. When you're practicing on your own, it might be that you finish reading the passage without finding all your answers. In this case, go back to the questions you couldn't find the first time round and try to solve them. During the test, managing your time is key. That's why you need to practice at home to know how much time you can spend on matching headings, and when it's time to move on to other questions. And if you have some time before your exam, working on your reading speed can help a lot. And you can find some techniques to read faster in this video here. Check it out, and thank you so much for watching me today. Good luck with your preparation and your exam. Bye!